Unlike most employers, mine is a YouTuber. I've been editing videos for Levi for just about 3 years now. Lately, I've even infiltrated his inner circle where I convince him to make videos that don't really have much broad appeal. But the other videos we make are about consumerism and their effects on society. What does that mean? Not a goddamn thing. Levi Hildebrand has coasted far too long by obfuscating his opinion on political issues, making vague gestures about capitalism and market economies in a way that's interesting but still palatable enough for polite society. Long story short, I'm beginning to suspect that Levi Hildebrand is a centrist. I decided to put my theory to the test. The political compass test. Only problem is I've never met the guy. So I got on a boat and I sailed deep into the heart of darkness to answer my questions, but most importantly, confirm my biases.
So Matthew is making me do a political compass test to expose me on the internet.
Not as I'm mapping you out. I think we need context is all we need.
I think it's valid and I think it's interesting. I'm curious to see where I lie.
I think especially because you don't have writers anymore, so we're getting a weekly streamline of your opinions.
That's true.
We just don't know where they're coming from.
If economic globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations. Strongly agree. I wonder who says disagree to that. That's an interesting one.
Well, some people are like hardcore capitalists. They're like,
that's true.
They think the means of production could be multiplied.
All wealth is good wealth.
There's a sense of that.
Yeah. I'd always support my country, whether it was right or wrong. I strongly disagree. There's not really. No one chooses their country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it. Foolish is a harsh word. Like I don't think it's foolish to be proud of your country. Like if your country does something that's cool, like that's not foolish.
I don't think they're talking about it in like a sports sense.
I think I agree. I don't think I strongly agree, but I think I just regular agree.
Okay.
Which is an interesting distinction. I don't know where they don't want to give you a neutral.
Sure.
Which is probably for good reason.
Well, they want you to take a stance, and I want you to take a stance.
The centrist in me just wants to, say neutral. Our race has many superior qualities compared to other races. My race.
Your race, the white race.
Jesus Christ. Strongly disagree. The enemy of my friend is
no.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Imagine an enemy you have.
Yeah,
And imagine their enemy.
I want to say yes because it would be so easy if that were the case, but I feel like I have to disagree because we don't know who they are yet.
Well, your enemy is consumerism, as we know. So imagine somebody else who also hates consumerism. Are they your friend? Are they an ally in this?
But what if it's Asmongold?
It is.
It is technically. This is a really good example.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like I have to disagree because
It's gonna really upset him.
Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified.
This is exactly what I wanted to get into.
Wow, dude, that's so impossible to answer.
Well,
that's
what would be like a military action defying international law that you'd be like, this is dope?
Well, I don't love the military in general, so disagree.
Okay. But you're worried about the fringe cases.
Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be some context where it's do we shoot down the missile that's going to kill a school full of kids and it's illegal for them to technically do that or something? Obviously. But in most cases, military action is not in the best interest of the people who are experiencing it.
Yeah. Fair.
Strongly disagreed. There is now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. Whoa, dude, this is basically our channel.
Fusing information.
This should be.
Are we worrying?
Are we worrying?
Strongly agree.
I do kind of agree. I strongly agree is maybe a bit much, but I definitely do agree.
What's worrying to you about the fusion of information, the creation of infotainment, as they call it?
Well, yeah, because now, as we have been discussing all weekend, do we want to make our videos more entertaining or more informative? And sadly, the reality is that we will choose things that are more entertaining because that will transmit more information to more people.
Yeah.
But you're also degrading the kind of information that you're getting from that video because there's entertainment bubble wrapping absolutely every nuance.
You're saying that infotainment is not going to be led by whatever's the most informative. It's always going to be led by whatever's more entertaining.
And it's
just like a stronger magnetic sort of thing.
Totally. I mean, even very informative people on the internet are spending half of their hours working on said content to make it more entertaining.
Yeah.
People are ultimately divided more by class than nationality. Oh, I agree.
Okay.
Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. Wow. God, I didn't even...
You got to pick one or the other, inflation
I guess
or
controlling inflation is like governments controlling how our economic system works, and controlling unemployment. Well, no, these are just two levers of the economy.
Well, it's like which is a worse problem overall, unemployment or inflation?
Interesting. Inflation probably affects more of like the upper.
Inflation maybe affects more people to a lesser degree rather than unemployment, which drastically affects anywhere from maybe like 4 to 12%.
Okay, I guess that the main issue is I don't fully know the difference. I don't really understand.
Know the difference between inflation and unemployment?
I do, but I don't really understand how controlling either of them affects the broader economy that much. Like, you just rattled off numbers that I don't know.
Well, controlling inflation would be like it would mostly be changing interest rates, right?
Or raising them.
So if you wanted to control inflation, which is like overspending, it would be to make it less likely that people spend money on stuff, which is to like raise interest rates.
I guess it's not. I mean, I'd say I disagree, I guess. I'm not entirely sure how that one plays out for me because I don't know if my
You can pick neutral.
No,
I don't think there is no neutral.
There's no neutral.
Oh, shit.
I know.
Because corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment, they require regulation. Strongly agree. From each according to his ability to each according to his need is a fundamentally good idea.
What do you think about that one?
I think it's a good. I agree.
Well, what does it mean to you? The quotation. I want to know your interpretation.
Well, like your context decides your need. And if we're living in a system that has social security nets and stuff, then, if you're born into a poor household in an area that has a lot of problems, then you should have more access to social services than people who are born into rich neighborhoods with more money. Is there flaws with that system? For sure. But it does say, is this a fundamentally good idea? Yes.
Okay.
The freer the market, the freer the people. Disagree. I'm going to say strongly disagree. I'm not an economist and I don't fully understand these things that well.
But the free market, you're a little bit...
It doesn't seem to be...
You're skeptical that it frees people.
I'm going to say disagree, not strongly disagree.
Okay.
Because I feel like there's aspects of it that have definitely made
of the free market
better, but not all of it.
Okay.
It's a sad reflection on our society that something as basic as drinking water is now bottled water branded and consumer product.
This is like, I don't know how we can agree harder than this rather than to make 5 videos on it.
Come on, I'm going to make a video about this video just to react to me doing this. Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold.
See, this is an interesting...
as a landowner.
As a very brand new landowner.
Yeah. No, we fucking get rid of those homeless people, dude.
Well, this is a question about like private property, which is like, should there even be a concept of private property?
Well, I mean, the opposite, it doesn't exist. Like, there is no country in the world that's just like, land is fucking free. Y'all can use it however you want. I think there's some this is a tangent, but like, there's an unfortunate causal effect with home ownership that if you don't own the thing that you live on, you care less about it. In my personal experience, like, I don't value the thing that I am living in because I don't have any monetary incentive to do so. As soon as I bought the house, I was like, invested in the neighborhood, invested in the grass and the fucking aquifer under the soil and everything that connected to that thing. So I don't know if that actually relates at all to what I'm talking about here. Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold.
Because you bought the land to live on it, but we were having like a discussion about people who just see property as
an investment,
as a token of value.
Yeah, and I think that is problematic. This question does eliminate like a lot of the nuances around this question, but because if I say agree, then I'm a hypocrite because I bought a house. But if I say disagree,
it's not hypocritical. You got to live somewhere,
right? Yeah, but then if we aren't buying and selling land, then where are we're all just expected to share the lands that we all live on,
or
that's not how humans are. We've never fucking.
It's the idea of to each from each according to his of his ability, to each according to his need. It's like you get the amount of land that you would require in order to live on, right? Like you as a household of three.
True communism, like
it would in an
plot.
Ideal world would be, you know, if you're a household of three, you get the space of three people.
Oh man,
because there are households of four who live in a van somewhere, you know.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I mean, I think I can say agree, but then understand that reality doesn't exist.
Okay.
It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to their society. Strongly agree. Protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade.
This is an interesting one for you because
I'd say I agree.
Okay, so you're pro tariffs in a sort of way.
Well, I think you can't just base your entire national production on the needs of other people, because then you fail to think about and consider the people who make that nation possible.
Okay, yeah.
Like I think it's sort of like, I don't know, you're mining your own yard to make your neighbor's granite countertops.
Sure.
Like at a certain point you're gonna need to fucking like have something that's not totally destroyed on your own property, which comes back to the property question. I just went with agree there, not like super strongly agree. The only social responsibility of a company should be to deliver a profit to its shareholders. Strongly agree. The rich are too highly taxed. Strongly disagree. Those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care. Disagree. I guess like I didn't do strongly disagree because I think like if you're willing to spend a fuckload of money on like some crazy ass shit that's maybe not even like tested, go ham.
What if somebody's willing to spend a lot of money, but they don't have the money to spend on it?
I guess that's another. That question's coming up. That's later in the political compass test.
Yeah. You wouldn't give a strong opinion on the medical care question, which is, I guess, a bit like Canadian about you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's maybe it. A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predator multinationals to create monopolies. Yeah, agree.
You're pro restrictions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. Abortion, when the woman's life is not threatened, should always be illegal. Abortion, when the woman's life is not threatened, should always be...
abortion should always be illegal. Agree or disagree?
Disagree.
Strongly disagree or disagree?
Strongly disagree. All authority should be questioned. Agree. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Agreed.
Now, why do you agree with that one?
Well, it's like I watched this YouTube video about how international negotiations work and how, like, I don't know if it was negotiating or there was the term maybe I'm not finding right now, but like the whole process of
diplomacy
basically is like they found out that tit for tat, but with a willingness to restart negotiations was the most effective way to find some kind of middle ground.
So you're a rocket for rocket kind of guy.
I don't know what that means, but
it's like if someone fires a rocket at another country, then they fire one back, and then it's like they can shake hands on it.
Yeah, it's like you fire one, we fire one. Are we gonna keep doing this?
I see.
Because the problem is that you end up with the Russia-Ukraine situation if you don't.
So
I mean, I'm not a fucking military expert.
Right, but you end up with the Russia-Ukraine situation because one side did not fire enough rockets at the other side?
Well, like one person aggressed, and then like the retaliation, I guess, was like everybody going, hey, don't do that. Don't do that. And then they just did it again. And then it sort of never ended since then.
Okay.
To my knowledge, I don't actually know. I'm
right.
Like
so the solution is we got to keep like we got to get even maybe, and then they can like shake hands on it.
I don't know. I can't say that definitively, but I don't think that you can simply like let things happen. There has to be some consequences to actions that are made.
Yes.
That harm people, that, you know, like you can't just let Russia bomb a place and then be like, hey, you better not do that.
Sure.
Like,
okay.
And I'm not saying that it works. I'm not saying that it's good. I'm just saying that
I think the detractors would say that we're trying to fight tooth for tooth with Russia. And now we got to the situation where we got today.
True. Maybe that's true.
And maybe it's not. I don't know.
And you know what? I think that is unfortunately the human experience. Some people are just going to be assholes and they're never going to stop, even if you do tooth for tooth, eye for eye.
Yeah.
That's that. Look at us. Been fucking doing it since we existed on Earth.
Because some people are more willing to sacrifice a tooth.
So, I mean, I guess I disagree with the fundamental idea, but I don't know a better option.
Okay. That's a fair...
So should I disagree then?
You can do agree. This is a good centrist opinion that you've developed out of this.
Yeah, but you just want me to be centrist.
I'm just predicting that you're centrist, and I like being right.
That's now we're gonna do your political compass test.
I'm happy to.
Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theaters or museums that cannot survive. Disagree. Schools should not make classroom attendance compulsory.
This is a strange one, huh?
So the people don't have to go to school at all in any capacity, or these kids...
I think they're encouraged to go to school. I think it's a question about like truancy. Like you would get maybe your parents would get in like legal trouble if you didn't go to school enough or something like that.
Is the country, the United States, run by the fascist dictator Donald Trump? Because if they're creating the curriculum, then yeah, I don't think it should be compulsory because what they're learning is bullshit.
Well, you would be like a pro homeschooling sort of.
Yeah, I'm fine with alternative forms of education. I don't think you need to go through the standardized school system. I don't think that's necessary.
Okay.
So probably no. All people have their rights, but it is better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep to their own kind. So that this is about people's rights.
Like everybody should have equal rights, but it's like this is like a separate but equal. Do you agree with the doctrine of separate but equal?
Good parents sometimes have to spank their kids. Like, what's my stance on...
What's your stance on spanking?
I don't think it's as bad as people make it seem. I wouldn't spank my kid, but...
Sure. Well, Frankie doesn't do anything spank-worthy yet.
Wait, were you spanked as a child?
No.
I feel like that usually informs people's decisions on whether or not they support it.
But like, we're talking about spanking on a spectrum. Like, are we...
Spanking on a spectrum!
Spanking on a spectrum.
The new Netflix hit series.
Which is where people with various forms of autism spank each other.
No. Okay. Guys, this is my first video.
No, because I think like, there's spanking that's like doled out in ways that are disciplinarian, that are like on the extreme end of the spectrum.
Sure.
And then there's spanking that, you know, could be sort of, I don't know, done in a way that's intentional. Like you can do anything with a certain amount of intention.
There's like a sense of like there's like the spanking where you lash out because you can't control your anger, and then there's a spanking that's like somewhat disciplinary, you're saying.
Yeah.
Because that's the argument that I hear from people who are like pro spanking their kid, not hitting their kid.
Dude, I just couldn't imagine
they're like, oh, I'm
pro spanking.
I'm of a calm mind when I spank my kid. I do it so that I don't have to put them in a room and make them stare at the corner for punishment.
I think it's a dumb way. I don't agree with it like across the board. I don't know. The longer we talk about it, I feel like I said disagree, so I'm just going to stick with that.
Okay, that's fair.
It's natural for children to keep some secrets from their parents. Natural? Fucking what is natural, bro?
I mean, just like it's normal. There's not something wrong with a kid if they.
I think it's fine.
Okay.
Possessing marijuana for personal use should not be criminal offense. Strongly agree.
This is
in my backyard right now.
This is an old test.
Primary function of schooling should be to equip the future generations to find jobs. Disagree.
I love how you say this is an old test. Like there would be a modern equivalent to that question.
I guess there wouldn't. What would the modern equivalent?
Cocaine, baby.
Cocaine should be legal.
I mean, yeah, that's a more complicated question, I guess. Cocaine's not that bad. I would probably say the same thing.
Cocaine is medicinal given the right year.
We're doing it in prescription form, so what the fuck?
Yeah.
People with serious inheritable diseases should not be allowed to reproduce. Tough, because I have a heart condition and a kid.
Yeah.
Disagree. The most important thing for children to learn is to accept discipline. How could that possibly be the most important thing? There are no savage and uncivilized people. There are only different cultures. Agree. Those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not expect society's support. Oh, dude, these ones are fucking zingers.
They're getting fiery. These are, by the way, what Jubilee rips their questions off of, basically.
Yeah.
Because like all of these have been like, they literally will do like the middle ground, spanking versus not spanking your kid.
Oh, there's a good one coming up. I'm looking forward to it. Those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not expect society's support. Wow. My issue is not work, it's contribution. Like, you don't have to work. I don't think you need to be like at the fucking factory making microchips or car parts, but like, are you just fucking wasting everybody's time? Like, if you just take Social Security and sit there and do nothing, and that's your whole existence, and you don't make any effort to positively contribute, that's a challenge. Is work the only way to do that? No.
Right.
I think there's lots of really positive, valuable ways to contribute to society. Work is just one way of doing that.
So you're like a proponent of like conditional welfare, like a tax break for parents specifically.
Yeah,
because they're contributing.
Artists, or like if you make beautiful music and you can't afford rent, then we don't get beautiful music.
True.
And I would say beautiful music is as valuable, if not more, than a fucking muffler for my car.
Yeah.
Like, I think that we just have a fucked up version of value.
We have an issue with our pricing system.
Exactly, because we want to put a number to fucking everything when there's just intangible value that's created by, like, this is a tangent I won't go down.
We're pro tangent.
I was going to talk about whether or not kids are a bad investment. It's just like a fucking absurd concept. Like, like having a child is not. Like, it's like the house question.
Did you encounter that, like, when you were having a kid? Like,
every single one of our friends is like, I can't afford to have kids.
Sure.
I'm like, I would argue you can't afford to not have kids, if anything. If anything, it's the opposite way, because this is not about making money. This is not about saving money. This is about, like, humanity's existence.
What's my return on the investment going to be?
Exactly.
Is my kid going to make as much money as the S&P 500 would?
Right. And, like, the boomer mentality that led you to that being your mentality is the exact kind of mentality that's going to fuck up your kids.
Yeah.
Like, thinking about your child is like, well, I paid for your school and I paid for your clothing and your food and everything that you needed to survive for 18 years. Why don't you visit me?
So in that sense, for them, a kid would be a bad investment.
And that's true. And in that case, you shouldn't have a kid. Yeah. Probably. Like, if that's your mentality, then like, maybe that's not for you. That's a tough one. I'm going to say disagree. When you are troubled, it is better to not think about it, but to keep busy doing more cheerful things. Honestly, it's worked for me in a lot of different circumstances. Been to a lot of therapy, and sometimes you just kind of gotta keep moving on with your life, because I've talked the same fucking problem over and over in my life for like 10 years, and I've just kind of realized that it's not gonna go away. I just gotta kind of do other stuff, and every now and then it works. But not all the time. So I think I got to fundamentally disagree, but there's obviously signs of that.
Okay.
First generation immigrants can never be fully integrated in their new country. This sounds so racist, but I think it is kind of like, if you don't speak the language of the country that you've moved to, it's very culturally different than where you grew up. You don't have a community there, or there's an already established community from the place where you moved from. What's fully integrated mean? Fully integrated means you learn the language, you like pay taxes, and you go to like the weekly Zumba class at your community hall. Like what does fully integrated mean?
Is that not fully integrated to you?
I don't know. I guess the term is the part that I'm sort of, I think I disagree.
Lou, I'd like to hear your input on this.
What's the question?
Can first generation immigrants ever fully integrate within their new country?
His stance is disagree.
Yikes.
Well, you got to expand more than that.
I'm a first generation immigrant.
Yeah, and I disagree that you can't fully integrate into this country.
Oh, wait, you disagree that you can't? Okay, I might have misunderstood his answer.
Oh, the opposite of yes.
The opposite, yeah. If you're a racist person who looks at the very large communities of Indian people or Asian people of any kind who move to this part of Canada, you could see this question and be like, yeah, fucking how have they integrated? They've just created their own little communities and don't have anything to do with us whites. But what is integration?
Sure.
Paying taxes, you're going to community events, you're adding vibrancy. Like, what you don't want Asian food? You don't want Asian street festivals? You don't want Asian music? K-pop's one of the most fucking popular genres on the planet right now. Like, the idea of integration is a tricky one, but I think I just disagree because there's fucking awesome shit going on from people who a lot of people might consider not integrated.
So you would suggest that introducing your culture to a new culture is in itself an integration, but because it's
the blending.
It's the difference between assimilation and integration, where you can integrate your own culture into a new culture.
Yeah, assimilation feels more like. You just are following our rules now and you eat our food and you do our shit.
Right.
Whereas integration feels like you're doing your stuff and you're sharing it with us, which feels way more collaborative.
Sure.
Yeah.
Pro.
What's good for the most successful corporations is always ultimately good for all of us. Strongly disagree. No broadcasting institution, however independent its content, should receive public funding. Disagree.
You're pro CBC.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Because some of the shit they run is absolutely bonkers. But you know what? I'd rather that than the alternative. How you see the wider society. Our civil liberties are being excessively curbed in the name of counterterrorism. I would agree.
This is an incredibly American question.
Yeah.
This is where it starts to show it's like American bias.
Yeah. And I mean, I do, like, we've got some bills passed that are like pretty fucking crazy, but also like I sign the fucking terms and conditions and I don't read it. So
sure,
like, what am I going to do about it? A significant advantage of a one-party state is that it avoids all the arguments that delays progress in a democratic. I do agree with that.
Okay, fair.
I do. I would say I strongly agree with that.
Okay.
Does it go in the direction I think is positive? Maybe not.
But it does pause progress in some certain direction.
100%.
Yeah.
Although the electronic age makes official surveillance easier, only wrongdoers need to be worried. Ooh, dude, surveillance culture. What up? We should make a video about that. No, I disagree. The death penalty should be an option for the most serious crimes. Disagree. In a civilized society, I guess I should strongly disagree on that one.
On the death penalty?
I guess I should. In a civilized society, one must always have people above to be obeyed and people below to be commanded. Strongly disagree. Abstract art that doesn't represent anything shouldn't be considered at all. Strongly disagree. In criminal justice, punishment should be more than rehabilitation. Punishment should be more. Disagree. Strongly disagree. It is a waste of time to rehabilitate criminals. Strongly disagree. The business person and the manufacturer are more important than the writer or the artist. Strongly disagree. Mothers may have careers, but their first duty is to be homemakers. Disagree. Strongly disagree.
Took a second to think about that?
Well, I don't know what I was trying to understand what it said.
Okay, fair.
Almost all politicians promise economic growth, but we should heed the warnings of climate scientists what growth is detrimental to. Strongly agree. And all it says is we should heed the warnings. Like, yeah, we should fucking obviously do that.
I'm heeding.
Yeah, I'm not saying, yeah. Making peace with the establishment is an important aspect of maturity. Agree.
Okay, you're saying you agree. Have you made peace with the establishment?
I think so. I'm not sure if maturity is necessarily the right word, but I think that you live in a system long enough and you learn about the systems that run our modern society, and you learn that they're all flawed.
Okay.
Nothing is perfect. Everything has problems. And so, yes, you want to change it. You're allowed to want that, but you have to make a certain amount of peace with it, because if you're fighting it constantly, you're going to be fucking depressed and you're going to be an annoying person to be around.
Okay.
So having some kind of reservoir of stillness and like acceptance, I think, is necessary.
I see.
I don't know if it's good, but that's what I've needed to do in order to function normally. Astrology accurately explains many things. Strongly disagree. You cannot be moral without being religious. Strongly disagree. Charity is better than social security as a means of helping the genuinely disadvantaged.
Okay.
I'm almost strongly disagree, but I don't think that charity is like, I don't think charity is better, but I don't think it's like, no, social security is better than charity.
Because it's just like more guaranteed.
Yeah, and it's not about like charities can be associated with religious organizations, and they always have like a purpose that is not necessarily dictated by what is good for everyone, but like what one specific group of people want to help, which is not necessarily bad all the time. So it's only disagree. Some people are unnaturally lucky. I fucking agree, dude.
Some people are unnaturally lucky?
I think there's some people who just have fucking bad luck.
Okay.
And I mean that in like a...
like a cosmic sense?
That's my most fucking woo-woo take, is just like some people, they I will walk the same dark alley as them 100 times. We'll do it all at the same time. They'll get mugged and I won't get mugged. I am naturally luckier than some people.
I am curious your disposition about like anti-astrology, but like pro-luck. Because luck feels like very secular.
It's true.
But it's a way to believe in something extremely secularly, rather than like...
It's the oh God, like agnostic thing. Like, I don't believe in God, but I believe that there are just unexplainable things in the world.
Yes.
Is that agnostic? Or is that...
agnostic would be, I don't know if I believe in God or not.
That's a funny one. That's interesting. Yeah, because like that is something I say all the time. Like there's just like my friend, I'm not even gonna say him because maybe he'll watch this, but like dude just cannot catch a break. He's white, he's good looking, he's tall, he has money, he owns a house, he has a wife and kids, and that dude fucking loses shit all the time. Is constantly getting mired in controversy that like I can't fathom. I'm just like, how does this happen to you?
Sure.
So yeah, that's my woo-woo. It is important that my child's school instill religious values. Disagree. Sex outside of marriage is usually immoral. Strongly disagree. As a same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of child adoption. Agree? Strongly agree.
Wait, can you repeat the question again?
A same-sex couple in a stable and loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of child adoption.
I was just making sure you were...
They put so many disclaimers on that. I was like, whoa.
They do like a lot of double negatives.
The couple has to be in a stable and loving relationship, and they shouldn't be excluded from the possibility of child adoption. They're not having their own fucking kid, though. Pornography depicting consenting adults should be illegal for the adult population. Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Some trepidation on the pornography question.
Agree. I think porn's gotten pretty fucking weird. And like, you can say consenting, but like, people are forced into porn because of contexts. Like, you can consent to shit even if you don't want to.
And is it like is financial pressure, does that, like how much does that contribute to consent?
If this question was rephrased as, do you think the pornography industry is great? I'd say no. Should it be legal? Yeah, I guess so. Because what are we going to do? Arrest all the people who, we've tried that. It doesn't work. What goes on in private bedrooms between consenting adults is no business of the state. Strongly agree. No one can feel naturally homosexual.
Some people take this and are just like religious people.
I don't understand. No one can feel naturally homosexual?
People think that homosexuality is like a thing.
What if I felt unnaturally homosexual?
Sometimes I do feel unnaturally homosexual.
This is crazy, dude. This isn't natural. I'm so gay right now. These days, openness about sex has gone way too far. Disagree. Maybe not like strongly disagree, because I do think that like we've made it a bit too much of our identity. Like I do think that we've...
In what way? Like who's making it too much of their identity?
Well, the right and the left. Like not being gay is as much of a political stance and like a personal identifier as being gay.
Like the straight pride people.
Right.
And
like we're just way too fucking far gone, guys.
Yeah.
Like if you're marching in the streets against something, that's crazy. Like, well,
you can be against something bad.
I guess that's true. No, I have to redact that. But yeah, it's like, guys, this isn't what we're about. Like, you aren't who you fuck.
Yeah.
Why are we talking about it that much? Like, this is like, the government shouldn't have a role in what happens in a bedroom between two consenting adults, was a previous question. And like, why are we talking about it all the time? Like, I just don't think it needs to be that.
Well, it is a religious context. Well, I mean, what's your take on like pride parades? Because those people are out marching, celebrating their sexual identity.
I guess that's supposed to be inherently positive. So
is it inherently positive to you? I mean, it's not. It's positive. Nothing's inherently positive.
I'm not anti-pride by any means. Like, obviously, I'm very progressive when it comes to these questions. But
we'll see.
Let's see where we stand.
Obviously, I'm very progressive.
Is that the end?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is you.
Oh,
okay.
Dude, I'm left as fuck, bro.
He's
left as fuck.
He's lived left as hell.
Dude, left as hell. I proved you wrong, dude. I'm way gayer than you thought.
Fuck! I didn't think you would be as close to the edge. I thought you'd be like a little more center.
Yeah, and honestly, I think if the questions were phrased in a slightly, like if you were to be able to make this slightly less black and white, which is impossible.
Sure.
You may find more nuances towards the center, but...
Well, we say that as like non-religious people, and the last like two categories of like sex and faith
totally
are going to be huge indicators of somebody's political identity.
Yeah, I would say those last two categories swung me way further left.
Sure.
But this is very interesting. Like, I think that this confirms what I sort of felt, but I wouldn't say that this is what shows up in our videos.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that people would guess this.
Well, because a lot of these categories and a lot of the questions aren't what we cover in the videos, because we don't really talk about sex or religion or geopolitics or anything. Yeah. There are a couple questions there specific to us about like consumerism and commodities in general. Yeah. Should water be a commodity? Should land be a commodity? Should, so that's kind of what we cover.
Yeah.
But most of this, I'm trying to open the door on Levi Hildebrand a little bit.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. It's fun.
All right. That was a good sesh.
Thanks for initiating this.
Give me an outro as Levi Hildebrand can only do.
Hey, you know what?
Just as I suspected, Levi Hildebrand is a leftist, a deep leftist, a member of the deep left. He struck his ball and landed in the green, only where I come from in the United States. Greens go to prison. So I sailed back to the United States, successful in my reconnaissance mission. Now his channel can get shut down in the US again.